Little project on misused. It's just going to be doing some vent tube work. So I'm going to vent the rear axle, front axle, and transfer case transmission. I picked up some 5/16 inner diameter silicone hose. That's going to go right on those breather stems. I'm going to zip tie it along with this brake line to run it all the way up here along the frame rail and up a little bit. And then to cap the end, I've got these Dorman, let me show you this way, these Dorman vent tube caps. So a little transmission cap, nothing fancy. Some people put on like fuel filters to keep junk out. This right here is just a big debris cover. So that'll go on the end of the tube. I'll need to figure out just a spring clamp down here that I'm going to put on and then run it up. Like I said, zip ties up a little bit and then have it facing forward because I'd rather have the cap facing to the front where most of the spray possibly would come from. But now I'm thinking about it, tire's going to kick up from the back of the tire forward, so maybe I'll just put it behind this area up here. But again, that's going to be the small little stuff today. All right, we'll start with the vent end. Just press that in, and I think just right there. For now, I'm not doing any crazy fording that I need much more. So I haven't looked through my stuff to see if I've got hose-to-hose clamps. Just some factory stuff. So we'll just use zip ties for right now. Again. Whoop, don't want it too tight. I don't want to crush the hose. So let's go around just keeping this together. I think I actually might loosen that one up. The reason I'm doing it with the brake line, that allows me to have some flex with the droop, and since I know that the braided line will be enough, we'll just keep it with that. This will be my last one. Right there. And then enough flex that. Go. Here's my big cable cutters. And then we're going to get fancy. We got some extra fancy hose clamps. So we've got this faux AN fitting with just a hose clamp. Just for fun. Just for fun. I'll need just a little more. There we go. Pull this up. Just take a little bit out. There we go. Now I was going to replace this one up here. It's crimped a little too much for my liking. Let's try that again. Just enough to hold it in place. All right. Okay, so we'll tighten this, making it look all fancy. Again, this is not a pressure hose, this is just a vent hose. So as the differential turns, you have mechanical heat created from the gears, changes the temperature, increases the temperature of the air. Air expands when it's hot, wouldn't have any place to go, it would blow out your seals. So this vent tube allows that extra air that's heated to escape out. And when the differential cools, the air in the differential cools, it draws that cold air. Air can come back in. Some other ways you've seen is little bellows. You can get hard plastic or soft plastic rubber bellows that expand and contract. I read somewhere somebody used a balloon they put on here, like those long clown balloons you can do animals with, and it balloons up pretty good. But all we need is just something to allow that air expansion and contraction from the heat and cooling cycles of that. So I've got my rear axle done. We'll just do the same for the front, for the transfer case, and for the transmission. So there we are. Enjoy. Moving on to the transfer case, I'll put my hose up over the top here. Make sure we put our fitting on first, and then our barb fitting up here. Push that all the way on. Rotate it around so we don't see that worm gear clamp. And then this is going to look all fancy, like it's an AN fitting hose clamp. We're going style here. So then we'll route this hose up over the top of the transmission and the backside of the engine. Here we've got our front differential. Move our cap, take our hose, put on our hose clamp. There we go. I think that's where it's going to be. All right, that's enough to hold that. Now I'll just need to figure out my routing with the hose. So that way I've got some compression and extension travel without messing this up. So I'll work on that next. Doesn't that look fancy? If you do anything special for your vent tubes, go ahead and put it in the comments below and let us know what you use for venting and or routing for water crossings.